Hello, good people of YouTube. My name is Nathan, and today we're back with another video. And as you've seen by the title, I'm talking about Spring Quarter 2024. At the time I'm making this video, Spring Quarter hasn't ended yet, but it's going to end in about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when you count the end of the quarter is. I think it's before. But some people think it's before finals, some people think it's after finals, but regardless, 2 to 3 weeks, I will be done with my second year of college. So let's talk about spring quarter and why we're looking at an image of a roller coaster. Because spring quarter 2024 for me has felt like a roller coaster. There have been really good times. There have been really bad times. There have been some really low moments. There have been some existential crises happening around me and maybe me as well. Um, there's just a lot that's been happening this quarter. And I want to start off at the beginning. So, coming into this quarter, I had the expectations of myself doing really well this quarter. I thought, okay, I knew I was going to do well in religious studies class. I knew I was going to do well in history class. French. I was worried about French. And I started looking at, you know, I as French, when I looked around my classroom in French, I noticed two things. Most people were either really coming out of French one really good, like really good at the language, or um, people had background experience, right? They did it in high school, or this is their um, not the first time, second time class thing. I felt very uncomfortable. I mean, as we went on, things got better, but it sucked. This quarter, academically, I would say it's not the strongest. The high points of this quarter, I want to say, are, I was talking to between me, my intervarsity staffer, and A2F mentor. Had that conversation, and I thought that was one of the high points. Another high point was I went to a double ACF tournament in Torrance, California, and I played ball alongside UCR, and we played against UCI, UCLA. That was really fun. Another high point I think was maybe I think finding a church down here at UC Riverside and seeing like, oh, okay, this is the church I want to go to, right? And so I think that was a really big thing for me. Um, let's talk about some of the low points. Okay, maybe another high point was, I think I've done a pretty good job so far. Being productive, not just like for like this YouTube channel or like for school, but like just in general, I think I've done a good job being productive this quarter. Um, let's talk about the low points. So first of all, I'm not doing well in French. I'm actually failing French, and at the time of making this, I'm an F in French. That sounds really, really bad, and it is. I've made the class French show up as like no credit instead of an F on my transcript, and at this point, I've pretty much given up on French. I think this actually started. This is week 8, but I actually gave up on French week 4 once I got back my quiz grade. Language classes, and I'll talk about it in a different video why it's like the bane of my existence and why I don't like doing language classes. But language classes, for some of you guys who have never taken a language class, builds off on the previous language class. And if you don't have enough information, which is my problem, I didn't have enough in French 1, you're not going to do well on French 2. First quiz, it's an F. It's a D actually, but It was not good. And yeah, it's been really frustrating because I think in one of my previous videos I made a YouTube video about a planner and how to plan, and I look so stupid now with it not lining up now, right? And I've come to understand, and as I've asked other people, that other people struggle with something else. You're going to struggle with this. You've just got to find a way to essentially fulfill the requirement and move on to the other classes that you enjoy more. If I had known how this quarter was going, I wouldn't have, taken French. I would have taken extra operative. Maybe I would have done bio, and I also would have kept my job. Oh, by the way, it's another low point. I quit my job because I was just dealing with a lot of stuff like French. Um, when I quit my job, it was too late, and I was like, can't really save my French grade, and yeah. I'll talk more about the language class and why I don't do so well. Maybe some of you guys are struggling with that as well, but that's something I've been struggling this quarter. And we're getting towards the end, so as I mentioned, as I'm making this is week 8, and so I think week 8. Well, we got midterms, we got finals. Towards the end, what am I looking forward to after finals? Actually, during finals week or week 10, I'm going to UCLA, maybe to visit some friends and maybe to um, what is it? Oh, eat the dining food. Yeah, apparently UCLA dining food is really good, so I'll go there. But another thing is that's happening at the end is summer conference. So summer conference. So I'm part of a Christian fellowship on at campus at UCR, and it's called InterVarsity. And InterVarsity has summer conferences or spring conferences, depending on where your school is and the schedule. But for us, it's summer conferences now, and basically study the book of Mark. So there's Mark 1 and there's Mark 2, and I'm doing Mark 2. So I'm looking forward to summer conference because summer conference is that gap way, is the break for me between this quarter, which as I've described, has been kind of miserable, but it's been up and down, right? And my summer classes. I want to say real quickly that to any student out there who's going through like maybe an existential crisis or like an identity crisis, your identity and worth is not based on grades or how much money you make. At the end of the day, when we pass, when we leave this world, no one's going to look at us and say, oh, I remember him because he had 3.8 GPA or he had 100K, he brought home 100K every year. I think wealth is one aspect of life, but it doesn't take a majority of how people remember you, your legacy, right? That's actually something I've been thinking about a lot is my legacy. Like, if let's say I don't graduate, and let's say I don't get a bachelor's in history, what's my legacy? Can I still have a meaningful and purposeful life? I think I can. It's just going to look a lot different than what I thought it would be. Um, yeah, that's all I have. I hope one of the questions I have, and I'll say this, I hope to find out what language or what thing I have to do to get through this language requirement. I it's not like I can just take 1 or 2 classes and boom, that's it. I have to take 3 to 4 classes, depending on if it's semesters or quarters, to get by this language requirement. As I said, it builds off each language class you do at the higher level is going to build off each other. So I've got to figure that out and how to manage that. That's it. And I wish everyone a safe day. Thank you for tuning in to this video. And I hope to see you all in the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye.